All right, welcome back to the channel. So, Devin Haney being described like an all-time great fighter by Mike, the body snatcher McCallum, who says that he will do two things. One, he says he can knock out, Devin Haney can knock out Vasyl Lomachenko. And two, that that Devin Haney versus Gervonta Davis would be like Muhammad Ali versus Joe Frazier. Very interesting parallel. Let's talk about it in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. So, Devin Haney, the WBC lightweight champion of the world, has, along with Shakur Stevenson, who was the WBO 126-pound title, they have both recently been called potential all-time greats by fighters that themselves were in the running for being all-time great fighters. One fighter that said that, the fighter that said it about Shakur Stevenson is the great Andre Ward, and the one that's saying it about Devin Haney is the great Mike McCallum. Now, Mike McCallum probably could have had a bigger and better career than he had if everybody would have fought him, but it is what it is. We know who the body snatcher is. 160-pound great fighter from the 1980s. He might have fought into the early 1990s. I'm not sure, but great fighter, was around the same time as Hagler. Right now, he's training out of you see him doing a lot of training out of the Mayweather gym. And one of the people that he works with, I do believe works with in the Mayweather gym, or at least he's obviously seeing a lot of him in the Mayweather gym, is Devin Haney. So in an interview that took place on Fight Hype, and I thought it was a very good interview, you guys should definitely go check it. Definitely go check it out. Fight Hype interviews Mike McCallum, and he's talking about Vasyl Lomachenko and what Mike McCallum thinks of Vasyl Lomachenko. And he said, man, Vasyl Lomachenko is a really great fighter, right? Love his jab. Love the way he changes levels with his jab. Love the way that he just doesn't just throw, 1 and 2 punch combinations, that he's throwing 5 and 6 piece combinations. Very, very accurate. Dude just was really praising Vasyl Lomachenko. But then he was asked about Devin Haney, and he, to make a long story short, said Devin Haney can knock out Vasyl Lomachenko. And the reason that he gave for it, he was like, that right hand. That right hand is going to knock him out, right? And so the guy said, well, I thought you, and I think I can't remember the guy's name from Fight Hype. I want to be able to say his name, but the interviewer from Fight Hype, Ben Thompson, I think his name, and it sounded like it was actually him. Could have been another black guy that did the video for him, and they just have a similar voice, but I believe that it was him. He said to Mike McCallum, what about the 5-6 punch combinations and all that come from Vasyl Lomachenko? And he said, well, yeah, because he said when you're punching in the middle of those combinations, and he mentioned Jorge Linares. He said, Jorge Linares, what happened? He caught him with that right hand. Jorge Linares caught Lomachenko with that right hand and put Lomachenko down. Mike McCallum's point was that, if Devin Haney hits, when Devin Haney hits Lomachenko with that same shot, he's going down and he's not getting back up, right? So he's clearly saying that, that Devin Haney is a much higher level fighter than Jorge Linares, and that I think that is obviously the truth. But I'm just taken back by the amount of praise that Devin Haney gets within boxing circles, man, because there's you hear him talk about himself, you hear his father talking about himself, you can see him in the gym, but when you hear fighters of that caliber really, right off of praising Vasyl Lomachenko, to say that Devin Haney would knock him out tells you what he thinks about Devin Haney. And he said, yeah, he's like, so do you think Devin Haney can be an all-time great? He was like, yeah, he's going to be all right. He's going to be, that underspoken, he's going to be all right. He's going to be all right. So, I'm impressed with what he said. Now, what he talked about with the conversation then moved on to Gervonta Davis, where he said, well, what do you think about the fight with Gervonta Davis? And the parallel, or the way that Mike McCallum described it, is He said it's going to be like Ali and Frazier, where Gervonta Davis is going to be coming at Joe Frazier at Devin Haney, but Devin Haney's going to have that length. He's going to have that jab straight right hand, and that's going to be picking and landing on Gervonta Davis like it landed on Joe Frazier with Muhammad Ali. Now, my only thing here is though, with that is Devin Haney ain't no Ali now. I mean, like, he's good. He ain't that good. Okay, he's good. He ain't that good. But you could also say, hey man, Gervonta Davis is good. Is he Joe Frazier good? I think as far as that fighting style, dude, that is a really good comparison, man, because Joe Frazier also went from defense to offense very, very well, just like Gervonta Davis does. You know, the height comparison between the two, I think that is realistic. I mean, that's a realistic comparison. Mike McCallum was asked about Devin Haney and people wanting to emulate Floyd Mayweather Jr. and kind of going away from the jab and thinking they don't necessarily have to jab as much because they can use their front shoulder to deflect it, or they can slip, they can do the pull counter, and kind of a fad of trying, not, you know, like, because people have Floyd Mayweather Jr. and the way that he fought fresh in their mind, that they're trying to train to do some of the same things that he did. But Mike McCallum was like, look, man, he was like, real boxing works. Because he said it's not old school boxing, it's real boxing works. The jab, the right hand, the jab, the right hand, jab, right hand, left hook, right? That basic fundamental will go a long way for fighters. And that's what he sees. That's what he sees Devin Haney being able to do to Gervonta Davis and to Vasyl Lomachenko. So, I mean, that is quite the God dang it, what's the term? That's quite the endorsement. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Yeah, that's quite the endorsement from Mike McCallum. Now, as far as whether or not what's going to actually happen in those fights, I think what Mike McCallum shared explains what happened with Vasyl Lomachenko, and it also explains, I do believe, the viewpoint that Floyd Mayweather Jr. has about Devin Haney versus Gervonta Davis. In the first fight, you know, with the Vasyl Lomachenko and Devin Haney fight, you understand that, I mean, that Lomachenko did not want that fight. And Bob Arum did not want that fight. And the WBC did not want that fight. And I said it when it happened, and I do believe I said it before Devin Haney got there, that is a bad matchup, really bad matchup for Vasyl Lomachenko, and Vasyl Lomachenko was going to lose that fight. First, Vasyl Lomachenko is he's not nearly as long, he's not nearly as big. He does throw a lot of combinations, but his arms being so short and being so far away from Devin Haney, when Devin Haney has that level of footwork on the outside and foot speed on the outside, Devin Haney is never going to have to fight Vasyl Lomachenko unless he wants to fight Vasyl Lomachenko. And so the fact that he would be able to control the tempo, control the pace, that's bad for the older fighter. And plus, you saw now where Mike McCallum was talking about the knockout between when Jorge Linares knocked down Vasyl Lomachenko. If I recall correctly, that happened in one of those switches that Vasyl Lomachenko likes to make, where he'll throw a combination and then he'll duck out, then he'll dip out to his right and then try to get like behind you, like to your right side or to your left side and behind you. Like he'll spin around your jab, around your left jab, and now he's on the other side from you and can hit you at that angle. Well, if you noticed, since he's gone to lightweight, and pretty much since the time of the Miguel Mariaga fight, people figured out how to neutralize that a bit by they just are not committing to punches and they're switching right with him, so that they're never giving up that angle. And when they force him and when they prevented Vasyl Lomachenko from getting that angle, then Vasyl Lomachenko has had to start walking people down. And it's when he started walking down like Linares that he got the knockout on Linares. It's when he started walking down Jose Pedraza that he was able to, to knock down Jose Pedraza. Same thing with Luke Campbell. Luke Campbell, the angle switching stuff wasn't really working much with Luke Campbell, but then once Lomachenko decided to start walking him down, those precision shots and those body shots got to those guys. But when you have somebody like Devin Haney that is that fleet of foot with that quick a hand speed, I don't know, dude. If you go into that mode of trying to walk him down, you're gonna wind up eating a lot. You're gonna wind up eating a lot of jabs and straight hand. And actually, Lomachenko from the southpaw stance is gonna wind up catching a lot of straight right hands, and a straight right hand dip out to the left, or dip out to your left is what I would see taking place. As far as Gervonta Davis and Devin Haney, that fight's not going to happen because Floyd Mayweather Jr. is going to push him up to 104, or Floyd Mayweather Jr. is not going to be having Gervonta Davis thrown to the wolves like that till they have had the bigger fights against guys that he can beat easily. I just don't see that being, in the plans for Gervonta Davis. But anyway, that's my take on the matter. I thought it was a really good conversation, a really good video, nice listening to Mike McCallum. So great job, Fight Hype. Also, hey, if you guys wouldn't mind, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you can make sure that you get your notifications. And also, thank you to everybody that is over there on the Patreon, that supports on the Patreon. And thank you to everybody. Thank you so much for everybody that supports as a channel member and in the live streams we do Monday through Friday in OG Boxing Talk. You let me know what you think in the comment section about the video. And with that, I'm out. Peace.